Greetings, ladies and gentlefish, and welcome to this replay in the British Tier 8 medium tank, the Centurion Mark 1. This has become one of my favourite machines in the game, and definitely my favourite Tier 8 thus far. So, this is a Tier 8 game, we're top tier, which is nice. An assault game here on Erlenberg, whatever you want to call it. Most of the team are going down the standard 1 and 2 rush line routes. And I'm kind of prevaricating a little bit here. On the one hand, I wanted to go to the 9 and 0 lines. On the other hand, I'm buggered if I'm doing that on my own. That's just... oh! Yay! One of our Tier 8 top tier heavy tanks just drowned himself on that river. Sometimes I really do wonder how people manage that. Right, anyway. So, I am not taking the 9 and 0 lines on my own. If you want to know how to die and be very useful, or not very useful, for your team in this game, then single-handedly try and hold off half the enemy team on a flank that your team is lemming training away from at a rapid pace. It just doesn't tend to work out. Now that is slightly dependent. It depends on what tank you're in, what the matchmaking is. You know, if you can be in a T-29, there's no artillery in the game, you can find a hull down position, then sure, you might be able to hold off a large number of enemy tanks for a very good long while. But generally speaking, you probably want to avoid getting yourself in that sort of outnumbered situation. So instead of doing that, I come over to this flank where everybody else is and start laying fire into the targets that present themselves, starting with Senor Tiger, who is probably wishing he'd not bothered. Oh well. And there's an IS, and there is a Burt. Artillery. Kill it. Kill it with fire, and it's dead. Good. That's fine then. Those things are really annoying little blighters. And so we start working over this IS. The gun on the Centurion is very nice. DPM's a bit lacking. And the penetration may only be, the alpha damage may only be 230, but lovely accuracy. God knows where that shot went. I think there's something in the way. Lovely accuracy, lovely penetration. The soft stats on it occasionally leave a little to be desired, but all round it's a nice gun to be using. And now for the Jagdpanther. That was a fairly poorly aimed shot. His frontal armour was quite well angled, so, you know, that was a bit dubious. Take a blind shot, because why not? Seems my blind shot did some damage, put some pain on this guy. And there's another shot into him. Hey look! It's another Burt! Are these guys platooned, I wonder? Why yes! Yes they are! Run away, little Burt, run away! And the Jagdpanther is dead. Scoreline reads 4-2, 4-3. Jagdpanther 2... and side armour, hello. There we go. Seeing if I can shoot the track at the same time, but I don't think it's going to happen. Nah. Oh well, never mind. The gun's reasonably accurate, but that was like a 500 meter shot, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. And we're just going to push up here behind everyone. Now, yes, our team lemming trained down one side of the map, but up until about 30 seconds ago, we were winning this 6-4. Scoreline, of course, now reads 6-6 because, you know, our artillery got overwhelmed and died. Well, some of it did anyway. And I'm very conscious that the enemy team is going to have rushed down the 9 and 0 lines, or some of them at least, and there's a very good chance we're going to be receiving a decided case of surgical butt love injection, which is a little bit... As Loki points out, surgical implies that it's accurate. That implies competence. I'm not quite sure that that's going to be a thing. Expecting people in World of Tanks to not completely suck? Wow, that is rampant optimism. So rather than pushing up towards the enemy base, which would expose myself to lots of shooting, and the armour on this tank is, not to put too fine a point on it, situational. then let's go somewhere else. So I'm going to go around this side and try instead to hold off the enemy team members who are coming up from behind. Titter, titter, titter. Feel free to insert your innuendo here, Mac. So there's an FCM 50T. We managed to get one shot into him, leaving him a one shot for us on 205 health. And this is an ELC who I don't actually have a shot on. Damn it! Cheeky little bugger. Ah well. T-44 over there. If I can stay hull down, I can bounce him reliably, like that. And he's never going to bounce me reliably, because sucks to be him. No, to be fair, T-44 seems to be a reasonably good all-round medium tank. So I'm not exactly going to critique that too much. FCM has now gone to a better place. He's gone up to the tank graveyard in the sky. That shot goes into the T-44. He manages to put one into me in return. Good night, little tank. It's time for you to die. And he's dead. ELC AMX is up next. And he's dead too. And we're winning this 11 kills to 10. Although our team, who were trying to attack the enemy base, have kind of been a little bit blurped. That's a proper word. I did not just make it up on the spot. They're looking a little bit less than alive. We've got a Super Pershing left up there who's on 2 kills, but his health isn't looking fantastic. The problem with... Okay, so the thing with this map, if you rush down the 9 and 0 lines, you stand a pretty good chance of running headlong into tank destroyers, who shoot the ever-loving bejesus out of you, which is annoying. Ooh, Super Pershing nailed their AMX. Tiger 88 nailed the Super Pershing. If you rush down the 1 and 2 lines, you can make it down to the A and B lines, but then you have to eventually make it across the river, if you continue on with that attack direction, which is a little bit naff. Because then you run headlong into the same tank destroyers who were ruining your day when you went down the 9 and 0 lines. So that corner, like A9 to C0, my god, it's irritating if you're on the attacking team on this map. Anyway, I've used my less than stellar top speed to traverse around most of the map and come around here because I didn't rate my chances of going down the A and B lines. The problem with doing this, of course, is that we now only have 2.5 minutes left to complete this assault. Assault games, of course, the attacking team gets only 10 minutes to get off their sorry little backsides and kick the enemy team in the spleen. And the Centurion is not the fastest machine in the world. It's relatively agile, considering it's the size of the state of Nebraska. But it's not what you would call fast. It's one of those machines. It accelerates and turns well, it gets up to speed well, and then sits there and you're disappointed by the actual speed that you get. Basically, it's speed limited to 40 kilometers an hour because otherwise you'd spill your tea, and that's unthinkable. That's the British for you, go figure. Anyway, so there's a Borsig and a Tiger 88 left, and you are soon going to see one of the problems with the Centurion. So, we start off by putting a shot into El Borsigo, who promptly plants his shot straight into the ground. I fire another shot into him, and I've set the gun to load HE with my next shot. Alas, of course, there we go. The HE was absorbed by a pillar. Now, problem, you notice I got ammo racked there. If you are not hull down in this tank and you are giving someone your hull to shoot at, don't be surprised if they ammo rack you. And here is where the relatively poor DPM of the tank is also becoming apparent. I'm the same tier as this Tiger. We do comparable alpha damage, we have comparable guns, but he is, well, his reload is much better than mine, and he ammo racked me for the second time. So I really need some help finishing this guy off, and indeed I get it. My team also polishes off the Borsig, and that was the game. So, as I said, the ammo rack on the Centurion is a right real pain in the backside if they have your hull to shoot at. If they don't, it's not so much of a problem. That game ended up being worth a high caliber, a tank sniper, over 4,000 damage. It was all very tasty, but only a second class mastery game. Why? Because most of the time we weren't spotting for ourselves. So there we go. Take a look at the post-battle results. I hope you guys enjoyed that game. If you did, please feel free to catch some of my other videos and or subscribe to my channel. And I wish you very happy hunting on that battlefield. Ciao, ciao.